Hello, Satsanga, the astrology family. My name is Sad Sangad. I am an astrologer, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, you will have a reason to subscribe today, because I'm going to talk about how we are preparing for this Sagittarius new moon. I will talk about the chart and give you my insights about it. And again, thank you for being here. Here you have my contact information. I also write a blog. I recently wrote articles about 2023 that you might be interested in reading, because we need to get prepared, right, for what is coming pretty soon. We just have one, can you believe it? One only month left in the year. And my blog is satsangatastrology.blogspot.com, and I wait for your subscription, and you can follow my blog. Look for the right-hand side column beside the text, and you'll find the follow link, and there you can follow me. Otherwise, you can see me in other social media, right? Without any more conversation, I will share with you full screen the chart of the Sagittarius new moon. We have been at the beginning, the first part of November, we were under the fixed signs T-square, right? We had the moon transiting Leo at the last quarter square, right? For the Scorpio moon cycle. And when the moon transited the Cancer, the beginning of the month, well, no, it was mid of month. It was about the 13th of November. The moon was transiting Cancer, and she formed this water trine with Scorpio, with Pisces, and we had all this activation of this solar eclipse energy, or the start of the moon cycle, right, in October 25. So at that time, when the last quarter square, or the waning square, we were integrating, right, and being more conscious, more aware of what the cycle was about, and we had to integrate those energies. So I hope you had a good time at the beginning of the year. However, it was not easy. I know it was easier when the moon transited Cancer because of the trine. However, and it also formed a kite. If we take a Pluto, it was opposite the moon at that time, and it was a kite. It was very emotional period from the 13 to the 19 approximately. And now we have a transition, right? We are coming from fixed signs, this T-square, and fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, that was so stressful during the eclipse season. Now we are transitioning. We are fading away into mutable energy, which is a more flexible, right, more adaptable, more we can make adjustments, we can adjust to the new situation. There were many crises in the world that have affected us all over the world, right? The rampant inflation, the economy, the for example, the economy crash. We saw with the lunar eclipse, we saw the crash of the cryptocurrency. We saw the firing of so many employees, half of the employees of Twitter and Facebook. Those big companies that have a lot of power, they started recognizing that, well, we're not doing so well, right? So, and many other companies that we don't hear about because probably they're not so big, but there was a very important step back, right, in the economy. And we feel it in our pockets, right? The food especially. So the daily survival, Taurus, the energy that we need to survive and protect ourselves, especially in those countries where right now they have low temperatures already and snow and very freezing temperatures. They need energy. So now we have the crisis of energy, the crisis of food distribution, and the scarcity, as I already predicted, even from 2020. So all of this is accumulating factors that take us to this a very difficult situation, let's say, at least. So because we had Saturn like putting the foot in the wheel, right, and it wasn't allowing this energy to flow. It was a square and fixed signs, so it was very hard and very challenging. Although we have all experienced setbacks and circumstances that were like points of no return, right? Where we had to surrender to the situation because the more fixed, the more obsessed with staying the same way, well, it didn't work. We had to change, we had to make changes, forced to make changes, right? And as I said, especially when the moon in Leo was forming this grand cross, right, in fixed signs. So it was very tense time. But now the energy is shifting by the end of November. We are having the personal planets in Sagittarius. And this connects the mutable signs. Sagittarius, we have Mars in Gemini, and we have Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. We also have Ceres, and don't forget Ceres, because Ceres is considered a dwarf planet, or let's say a minor planet, like Pluto, let's say. And it was considered the biggest, most important asteroid in the past. So she is very important. Not only that, but she is opposite Neptune. And I'm going to read you about that. So now we have this new moon, a new start, right? We have this rebirth of the hope and the illusion of the future, right? Because Jupiter is in Pisces after all, and giving us this illusion, this hope. So let's look at different aspects of the Sagittarius energy. So now we can start having this perspective of the Christmas season, the hope of having holiday gathering with our families or our friends, this new hope for something better in the future, right? And we can project our minds onto a different, more far distance perspective. So the mood changes, right? We are adapting to the situation, but at the same time, we have this new hope, which is very welcome, right? And many people will start writing Christmas cards and sending them to family and friends, and planning to have gatherings and parties and travel, right? Sagittarius is the sign of traveling long distance, and so this positive mood, right? Now we have a T-square in, we will have, as these planets from the sun, the moon, Venus, and Mercury progress in Sagittarius, they will make a T-square with Mars and with Neptune and Jupiter. So it is going to be challenging. However, we start at 1 degree 38 minutes of Sag. We start having this generosity, this optimistic energy. So, however, we need to make adjustments, as I said, and seek to adapt to new circumstances. It's a very forgiving energy, in fact. And there will be people looking for truth in information, right? Maybe you have a legal issue or something of the sort, and you're looking for the truth of the matter. And there's also a renewed interest in religion, maybe religious practices, in new ideologies, in general, higher knowledge. There is a sense of higher consciousness that is coming to us. And since Jupiter is in Pisces and with Neptune as well, we could feel this new wave of spirituality. We could feel more compassionate, more inclined to relaxing activities or meditation or going to church, doing charity, and that kind of thing that is typical of the holiday season. But we also are looking for some level of freedom and adventure, and travel may provide that, right? So let me see my notes here. So we have this energy, as I said, is supported by Jupiter is stationary a few minutes after, or hours, maybe an hour after the exact time is stationary. It is already stationary from a few days, meaning that it barely moves. So this gives Jupiter influencing Sagittarius an intense power. Its intensity is more of Jupiter, if there's such a thing, you know, because Jupiter is so expansive, and Jupiter is so happy and, you know, happy-go-lucky and optimistic and expansive in general. So it makes Jupiter more intense because it is stationary. And not only that, as I have said before, conjuncting Neptune in the decan of Mars or the decan of Scorpio, this Jupiter brings some transformational energy, very, very intense and powerful. Now we have Venus and Mercury involved in this new moon, right? Even though it's 9 degrees apart or less, maybe 8 and something, Mercury is also conjunct. I mean, I even consider any planet in the sign as a conjunction, because I use whole house system. And you see here, we have the sweetness of conversation, right? Many people who in the audience may have Mercury and Venus know what I'm talking about, because you have this way of saying things in a very sweet and agreeable way. It's very welcoming. Your speech is harmonious and looks for an equitable, a balanced way of communicating. So here we have this new moon that brings all those sweet things that we enjoy in the holiday season, right? That's why I was saying that many people are already writing Mercury Christmas cards of good wishes. Neptune, Neptune, Venus, right? All ruled by this Jupiter with Venus in Pisces, that is so inspirational, and looks for a better future. What best for wishes, right? Christmas wishes. However, this conjunction is also in trine with Chiron, and Chiron was at 12 degrees 19 degrees minutes. Sorry, 12 degrees 19 minutes. In June 7, 2021, a long time ago. It moves, of course, very slowly, especially in the sign of Aries, where Chiron stays for 8 years. And yeah, we will get tired of it by the end. But I mention this because you may revisit something that happened in June, at the beginning of June 2021, with this, especially with Mercury, right, is the closest trine to Chiron. So there could be opportunities, conversations, information, news, right, and communication about your vulnerability in the zone, right, where Chiron is transiting. So it could be a better understanding of the wounding that you have, and the opportunity to resolve that wounding. Maybe new ideas, a higher level of consciousness or understanding because of Jupiter in Pisces, and the broader knowledge that helps you understand that better. So these communications and information will help you heal in some way. And we have also maybe contacts or meetings with people that can support this new information and understanding. And you may also gain a different perspective for the future, right? Different cultural perspective, right? Sagittarius, or a different religious perspective, or a different ideology perspective on things. So this trine helps maybe with plans. Mercury makes plans, or it makes deals as well. And it could be having Venus as well trine. It could be having financial deals, right, that can be resolved, that were hurting, or that were in some way wounding our life. There could be a new plan that involves money or the expenditure or maybe gaining money, right? That it has a new deal, a new agreement, a new accord. So it could be good to organize Mercury, the finances, at a global state as well, at the global scale. So as I said, this is very favorable since it is a trine, is a very easy flowing kind of energy. Now this Jupiter, now let's talk about Jupiter as a ruler of Sagittarius and Pisces. It has a great emotional content. As I said, it's in the Scorpio decan, so emotions will be very, very deep. It may be concerned to shared finances. It could be related to uncovering secrets, revealing information, especially revealing information in astronomy or in spiritual practices in general. There could be this sense of global transcendence, right? Because Jupiter in Pisces is in the sign of the collective unconsciousness. So there could be this new wave of spiritual wisdom and truths revealed that will give us this emotional intensity, because Jupiter is exalted in Pisces, and now it's turning stationary direct. So this is a powerful, imagine, it's 300 times bigger than the Earth. Imagine this giant stopping to turn around. So it's super powerful. So it could be on the negative side, because there is always you can use the energy in a positive way, in a negative way, and in the middle as well. So, but it could be some feeling of blaming, finding that others are to blame for your problems, Chiron in Aries, or some disillusionment can be contributed, given that Neptune is conjunct Jupiter. And in extreme cases, you might feel that you have fallen victim. So you may be, oh, poor me, self-pity, poor me that I am suffering like this. But in all cases, the best way to face this new moon is to surrender, right? Because it's so much spiritual and it's inspirational and it's intangible energy. So there's no way to control this huge wave of the ocean that is coming over us, right? It is like we can't control it anymore. And that's why it's better to accept it, the things as they come. And I might need to hear my words because of the circumstances that I am going through. But Jupiter was at 28:47 minutes in May 4th, 2022. So when it went direct through this degree. So you may go back if you write a journal, you may go back. It was the time in between eclipses. If you remember, it was eclipse in April and in May, mid-May or something like that, or the 20th or something like that. So when Jupiter came through this degree, so that may resonate. So what happens with this new moon may resonate back, and it definitely did for me. I reread my journal, and definitely it resonated with what has happened at that time. So it is very useful to write a journal, especially to see how the transits could affect us or not. Maybe they don't, right? And we can, but we can prove it. Okay, this kind of energy was reflected in my life or was not reflected in my life. It was not an important transit for me. So that's a way to find it. Another factor that I think is going to be the last one that I will talk about. Oh no, I have something else, but is the of course Mars square Neptune is separating already. Mars is going retrograde, and it is separating from the square Neptune, but I would say it is still active because we have just less than 1 degree apart. So watch out for misinformation, for watch out for lies, you know, for attacks that are subversive and underhanded aggression, also passive aggression. So Mars square Neptune is definitely passive aggression, like attacking someone or something and say, it was not me, I don't know who it was, right? So it is important to pay attention to that and not fall into that yourself, right? Try to be, if you have disagreements, try to be straightforward, not underhanded, because it doesn't work. In the end, people will learn that you have been lying, right? And don't we all have heightened intuition with Neptune transiting Pisces? Definitely. And more so with the addition of Jupiter, right? So yeah, it's lies are almost transparent nowadays if we know how to pay attention, right? The news online, on TV, on radio, you know when they are lying. Okay, so, but now we also have the applying trine to Saturn. And if you see, Saturn is direct and Mars is retrograde, so they are approaching each other. And this is an applying trine, which gives a potent use of the energy in a very efficient way, right? We have this Mars that is strategic and is attacking and is using all this control, the structure, and intense desire and ambition for control, right? So I don't think this will give us good news about the war, because war may be more strategized and more precise, you know. There could be, I don't know, it's also the square to Neptune, so I don't know. At the same time, both things at the same time don't look too good. For the case of war or attacks or people who are you know, attacking each other, that's not good. But when this Mars gets exact on the square, I didn't look up the date, but it is sometime later on, maybe at the beginning of December. It gives great determination to succeed, and it gives extreme discipline when working hard, right? It gives efficiency. For example, it's good to initiate organization, right? To start organizing things, establish structures. Also, it is a very powerful energy for building, construction, right? For engineering, architecture, manufacturers, and also the use of machinery with precision operations. Also is very good for surgery, right? Because Mars is very precise, you know, when he penetrates and cuts, and Saturn gives control and gives the strategy. It gives the power to control. So it's very good for surgeons and construction people and people who operate machines, and also to work with the system, with authorities, with also working with elderly people, you know, and even elderly people will have this very efficient way to use energy. So I think this is about, I also wanted to mention the opposition between Ceres and Neptune, and I'm going to read from the asteroid goddesses from Dimitra George, is mythology and astrology of the asteroids. And she has this piece on the stressful aspects between Ceres and Neptune. And she says, stressful aspects can point to unrealistic perceptions of loved ones and consequent feelings of disappointment or deception. The resulting emotional neediness may predispose the individuals to play victim as a way of receiving attention in the form of nurturing, or unable to bear the emotional pain and isolation. This person may seek refuge in various forms of escapism, right? We know the addictions, the most common drugs, alcohol, and isolation, right? Withdrawal. The resolution, and she gives the solution for this, the resolution of these challenges lies in finding one's source of nourishment through the experience of oneness and unity that connects all beings. Ministering to the needs of others without self-sacrifice also enables Ceres Neptune individual to fulfill his or her deep longing for wholeness and unity. Right, so it's a challenging aspect that will challenge us to blend this need for nourishment and attention, represented by Ceres in Virgo, right? Is talking about nourishment and attention for our health, our daily way of sustaining our material physical life, and this Neptune that is pulling us into spirituality and evasion or isolation or avoidance, right? So we need to reconcile those energies the middle way, like Buddha said. So I thank you very much for listening and for visiting my channel. And feel free to subscribe if you like my videos and the material. And you also have my contact information. Thank you for visiting, and come back. Goodbye now.